Manifest your life and fly, 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 fly. Renee Lane, Yancy Show. She's a spark, she's the light, she's the voice that feels just right. Truth and style, heart and grace, you'll see joy in every face. Radiate, illuminate, and shine, shine. The Renee Lynn, Yancy Show.
What up, though, Detroit? What up, though, world? It's the Renee Lynn Yancy Show, and I am Renee Lynn Yancy, your proud, happy host. Welcome back. We are live here on WHPR TV, and you can also find us on Roku TV. We're going to be streaming and uploading all the shorts and the messages and the posts. We've been having such a good time. Thank you so much for your support. We've got over 30,000 views, y'all, and super shout out to TikTok with your 10,000 views after 2 days. So wow, the presence of social media and its power is here, right here on the Renee Lynn Yancy Show. Oh, so last week, if you didn't get a chance to see it, we had LeVar Scott, 22-year-old race car driver. We had Destiny Spurlock with her motorcycle magic. We had the co-founders of Foxteca, Kelly Crawford and Chris Harris. If you didn't see it, go check it out on our YouTube at the Renee Lynn Yancy Show. But today, we are flipping the script as we do. We always switch it up. And today we've got comedians. We've got here Crystal P. and Monique King, who are some of the funniest ladies that you'll ever want to meet in the industry. So we're going to talk about what it means to do that job. If you know me, you know I love comedy and I love jazz music. So as soon as I hear ha ha or woo woo, you have me at hello. So today we're going to get right into it with our guests. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us. And so on the Renee Lynn Yancy Show, our goal is to inspire, to educate, motivate. Thank you, Crystal P. But it's also to have a good time.
Yes.
So you are my intentional good time, but I know we're going to have all the rest in line because it takes something special to get up there and be of service.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's not easy.
It's not easy. So let's get into my questions that I love putting together every week for my guests. Now, I would love for each of you to introduce yourselves as you would on stage. Monique, go first. How would you introduce yourself?
Well, typically we don't introduce ourselves.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
Then that's, you know what? I didn't even think about that.
I am an MC.
Okay.
I love to MC, so I could, of course, introduce Crystal P.
Ooh.
Who has been
give it. Let's
across
switch it up.
the country doing stand-up comedy, BET. We're talking Sinbad. She's beyond that. She's beyond Kevin Hart. She's the funniest. She's the queen of comedy. Give it up right now for Miss Crystal P.
Ooh, love it.
I feel like the happy guest on the Renee Lynn Yancy Show.
Yes.
Sitting here next to the hostess with the mostest and the girl with the twirl from the Detroit area. You want to check out the funny lady that's bringing it from the heart, the soul, all the way down to the toe. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the beautiful Monique King.
Come on now.
All
Yes.
right.
Give it to me. I love improv. So I knew I would put these questions together, but I just knew the way this alignment came for us today that we just gonna go with the flow. So maybe we do questions, maybe we not do questions. So, but I do have a next question. What part of Detroit are you from, and how has that shaped your voice?
I'm from the east side of Detroit.
Okay.
I grew up, I was born and raised on Androdon and Mac.
Okay. Shout out Mac.
Bewick and Mac was like the spot back in the day. If you didn't have tags, if you needed some insurance, go up to Bewick and Mac, get whatever you needed.
Get you together.
Yes, get you together.
Yes, I love it.
And I went to church there. I still go to church on that side of
Okay.
town. I go to Grace Community.
All right.
I love it because it's a diverse, mosaic
Yes.
church.
Yes.
And the experience that I have there is just, it's really a spirituality that's coming from within.
Amen.
And I'm one of those comedians that I don't know how to just tell a joke. I'm usually talking about real life stories that have happened to me. And at the time, they're not funny.
Right, right.
But when you look back on it,
Can we reflect?
yes.
Can we find the silver lining?
Yes.
Yes.
My
Okay.
experiences had, they're so vast. I paid child support. I was a single mom. I never married. So I talk about dating. I talk about being a single mom. My son is dating an older woman who has a son his age.
Oh, you got lines. You
Oh,
got jokes.
baby,
I know
got.
you do.
Listen,
I know you do.
Listen,
Crystal P, how about you? What side of the Detroit or Michigan are you from?
I feel like I'm a part of a buffet of cities.
Okay.
So I was born in Providence Hospital in Southfield. I grew up in Royal Township, where the Spinners are from.
All right.
Have
Shout
a
out the
happy-
Spinners. Yes.
But I always spent my summers in Detroit at DeQuinder and 7 Mile. So shouts out to the 4,
I know,
8,
right? Yeah.
2, 3, 4 over there, the Persian, the Doughboys and girls and Conant Gardens
All
and
of
all
that.
good stuff.
Yes. Shout out for real.
Because my
yes.
mom had to work, so I spent the summers with my grandmother, lived with her in Detroit, and then when I was time to go to school, then I was back in the township.
Okay.
So 8 Mile, shouts out to everybody, the old Wheels roller skating rink next to
Oh,
Farmer Jack.
come on
Yes.
now. Next to Farmer Jack. I got a bruise on my knee from Farmer Jack. Yes, I do.
Yes, that was where
okay.
I grew up, right there, and house still over there.
All
My
right.
mom's house is still there.
And so through that, through that ecosystem, that love and that family, how has that infused your comedy?
And it's so funny because I talk about the buffet. So being from the township, there's 2 sides to the township. You were west of Wyoming or east of Wyoming.
Okay.
If you were east, you went to Ferndale schools. If you were west, you went to Oak Park schools. So there's other cities. So it's like I'm connected. And at the time when I was going to Oak Park schools, there were no black children hardly. I was one of 3. I was being bused. I didn't go to the neighborhood elementary school. So now I'm with Orthodox Jewish people and a little bit. So I don't get offended. Don't write to the show. The words and the views and opinion of Crystal P does not reflect Renee, Lynn, Yancy.
Thank you.
And so back then, when you're talking about 75, 76, we weren't politically correct. So back then, it was Chinese, a couple of Chinese, Russian, Chaldean, Arabic, and just a melting pot back then. Sprinkled with a couple of sisters and brothers, and then it was Jewish, and so that's why I probably always correct people's English because I grew up in a time where you just knew the difference between your and you are, and they're there and they are, and those things stuck with me, and how to remember when to use you and I and you and me in a sentence, and so, but then I still had my hood roots. And so there's a melting pot within my soul because I can sit next to anybody and function and talk with anybody. And still to this day, I travel the world.
You do.
So I can sit and sit at a table with anybody and not feel intimidated or, too much out of place.
Sure. Yes. And that's interesting, being in that coalition. Right? And not feeling separate from it, but inclusive, and you get used to that. Because I know I used to get teased, oh, we're talking white today. And it's like, no, this is just the culture, the English that I was raised around and spoken. I'm not trying to be different. I can imagine you've had some experience like that too.
So my experience was totally different from yours, Crystal, but you would never believe it because people don't anticipate that I'm going to say I'm from the east side of Detroit.
Sure.
I don't know what they think the east side of Detroit is like.
Yeah.
There's Grosse Pointe over there. There's, East Detroit.
Yeah. It could be. But
Detroit is a beautiful city. But when I was growing up in the 70s on Anderdon, they were just drug addicts. During that time, I think they had the Earl Flynn's and I mean,
Yes.
and it was a
Come on
group
now.
of them that I remember as a small child seeing them march down the street in their suits. Like gangs back then didn't look like gangs now.
More
They
proud.
were dressed up in suits, the hats, dress shoes.
Sugar
Like,
sharp.
where you
The
going to
Jingle
fight? You're
Bell
not
boots.
going to fight
And the
in a
Jingle
pair of
Bell boots.
dress shoes. So you know,
You're going to style and profile,
right,
yes.
right. But they were strong. They were marching strong. But there was a lot of drugs in my atmosphere. My sister was addicted to drugs. My family, they drank. When I was a kid,
You said drank.
They
didn't
drank.
drink. They drank.
They drank. Yes.
2 A's.
Two A's and a couple of K's.
Yes.
Alcoholics Anonymous.
Okay. But it was a family filled with love. My mother, I did not realize at the time she had a wonderful sense of humor. It wasn't funny to me at the time because I was growing up
In it.
But you know, those experiences make me who I am today.
Yes.
And the work that I do, it allows me to be less judgmental in my atmosphere because I know where I came from. And although I came from this, I'm not still living in that.
Yeah.
And I travel. I've sent my son across the globe without me because, you know, I don't live in a box. This world is a big place. And to just experience other cultures.
Yes.
I'm not friends with Crystal P like we hang, but I'm friends with her on Facebook.
Yes.
So I feel like I've been on these vacations she has been
too.
on.
Yes.
Crystal P ain't playing.
She said, ma'am, I'm living my life
Okay.
on cloud 9, degree 5.
I tell people it makes no sense to be alive and not live.
Come on now.
And I, you know, of course, when we have children, we pour everything into them. So my youngest daughter was the first to go to Europe in my family. She had a passport at 12. She went, and I was sitting here with the rest of us metropolitan Detroiters, and she's in Switzerland.
Oh, God
and
bless
she
you.
went to Italy, and she went to France
Oh.
and the Vatican, and then when she was 13, she went to Turkey on both the Asian side and the European side.
Now.
So she has all these stamps, and here I am, still sitting in the metropolitan Detroit area. And I got to the point, I want to go and experience this. And my first international comedy gig was in Bermuda, outside of Canada. But we don't, even though Canada is another country,
I still
when you
claim
were in
it as,
Detroit,
yeah, I know, it's
that's
right across the bridge.
right there.
Yes.
We about to
You-
go over there.
Or under the tunnel, right. So, no, we still count that as international. But, yeah, so nice that you were able to plant the seeds, but also live them.
Absolutely.
I was speaking, I'm a Rotarian, and so I was at a district conference, and so I was saying to someone, what are you doing with your dash? And they said, ooh, my dash. I said, yes, your dash.
From the time
And
that
so-
sun sets,
Yep.
rises,
And it's
to time
on
it
you.
sets.
Yes.
And that's part of the reason why we're here today, because this is what I'm doing with
And
my
I tell
dash.
people all the
Yeah.
time, it's funny you mentioned the dash.
Yes.
I said, when I go, you don't have to make up, as the old folks say, nothing about me.
Right.
Because I've done
You
what I
told it.
wanted to do.
Yes.
I've been where I wanted. And even within Michigan, my mom growing up, she didn't have, because Roanoke Township was the poorest city in the state of Michigan, median income wise. And I believe to this day it still is the poorest city. But we were, my parents worked. They bought a home. So I guess that's kind of why some of the people from the projects looked at us funny, because it's like, well, y'all supposed to be over here. But we were still poor in comparison to when you looked at the broader spectrum. We didn't know it. We were so filled with love.
But how
Yes.
broad was your spectrum?
But the levels.
How broad was your
too.
spectrum
So like
then?
my mom, so we had a lot of humor in the house, and we ate at the table. But my parents divorced when I was 6 years old, so I pretty much grew up in a single household.
Yeah.
But we had we still had contact with my dad, and you would still get in trouble just because he wasn't in the home.
Exactly.
Did not
'cause
mean
I'm
that you
still
weren't getting a
daddy.
spanking
Right.
if those grades weren't what they were supposed to
Yes.
be. And so, but I didn't know how poor I was until I looked at some of the children in Oak Park. and they drove new cars.
Yes.
I still don't drive new car to this very day. I've never had a brand new car when you smell the fresh new. I've had a new used car, but never
That part. That's because you are a wise woman. I agree.
And my dad taught us that. Don't take, let somebody else take the depreciation.
That part.
So still to this day, but we had a tight family unit. We played bid whist together. We played old maid together. We learned how to play chess.
Yes.
My mom had my older sister teach me how to type when I was little. One of the neighbors taught me how to play the flute when I was 8. So I got so much, and I went to the recreation center, and we ate that lunch that was wrapped in that thick saran wrap.
Oh, you could
with
smell it.
Oh man,
you could smell the saran wrap.
If the juice was red, I knew we were having apple juice. And you had that cookie and that sandwich, and you swam in the little community pool for 25 cents, and we still have a penny candy store, and it is still there. It's 2 cents now, but it's still there. We still go to the penny candy store and get. Now back then, you didn't use gloves, sanitizer. You picked up the buttered cookies and threw them in a little brown paper bag, and you could get you a Snickers for 10 or 15 cents. Yeah, so we didn't know. But looking back, I was like, man, we was broke as the 10 Commandments. Like, well, Popo, you couldn't even afford the O and the R. You was poor.
Check to check. When we were in high school together, I would get called down to the office. You remember they would call people down to the office?
I got called
when
down
that
to
tuition,
the office.
My tuition was never paid.
Oh.
Never paid on time. So I was
They would call
always
you
down
down.
at the office and my mother had a gambling problem. She was a single mom, but she could hustle.
And you know what? So let's get into that. We're going to take a quick little break, and we're going to come back to hear more stories, because obviously we all have come, and we are the total sums of our pluses and our minuses, and it shapes us into who we are today. So let's continue the conversation when we get back from this commercial break.
Manifest your life and fly, 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 fly. Renee Lane, Yancy Show. She's a spark, she's the light, she's the voice that feels just right.
Watkins Broadcasting is going worldwide. Now you can watch Detroit's own WHPR on your TV from anywhere in the world. No matter where you are, you can stay in the know with WHPR TV and Roku. You can get your easy-to-install Roku box from wherever you shop for your entertainment gear. Once your Roku box is connected to your TV and internet, go to the channel store on the home menu of the Roku box. Enter WHPR TV in the search engine and add it to your channels. That's it. That's all you need to get the best in entertainment, news, and talk, no matter where you are. Roku brings all of your favorites to your TV. Netflix, Hulu Plus, Crackle, HBO Go, and now WHPR TV, Detroit Live.
Justice for Mario Willis. Truth. Facts. Evidence. Mattered. Log into justiceformariowillis.com. Read for yourself.
Have you ever wanted your own TV show? Have you dreamed of showcasing your talent for the world to see? Well, now you can. Have your own TV show. You can have your own 30-minute show. Not only will you be seen in the Detroit area, but you can be viewed worldwide. For more information, call 313-868-6612. Visit our studios and receive a free TV interview to promote your business, church, or organization by appointment only.
Truth and style, heart and grace, you'll see joy in every face. Radiate, illuminate, and shine, shine. The Renee, Lynn, Yancy Show.
And we're back. Welcome back to the Renee Lynn Yancy Show. We're here live on WHPR TV and Roku TV live, and you can always catch us on our YouTube page at the Renee Lynn Yancy Show. So we are in studio with these two fabulous ladies. We got Crystal P over here on the end, and we got the amazing Monique King. And we've been talking about what shaped their comedy, what shaped their views, what shaped their funny. And so we were talking about, where we're from and who all is in that space with us. And so that influenced the style of your comedy. Is there a person that influenced your style?
Oh yeah, absolutely. One of the first true loves I had when I first started watching stand-up comedy was Barney Mac. But I remember as a kid watching Saturday Night Live and watching the skits, and me and my best friend Ty, we would be on the phone, or we would either be at each other's houses watching it together. And it was just a matter of, watching them, portray these different characters that I felt like these are real people.
Yes.
Some of the stuff was just so funny.
Ridiculously funny.
They were ridiculously funny, and I like real funny situational comedy. But Barney Mac was, I think, I had a big crush on Barney Mac. I thought he was the sexiest. And he was so confident. I remember seeing him on Def Jam. Oh my God!
I got to see him walking down the street in Chicago on Wabash.
Really?
Because I lived for 17 years. I lived in Chicago. So yes, on the south side of Chicago on Wabash, he was walking down the street to go to the freaking, I guess the video store, because that's where I was going. I can't remember if he walked in, but I was just like, wow, Bernie Mac. How about you, Crystal P?
TV shaped me. We had a lot of humor in my home. My dad was hilarious. His mom had this sarcastic type of humor, but I watched a lot of sitcoms. Now, I know people know me from doing clean comedy, but my favorite was Red Fox.
Okay.
I love Red Fox, and I watched Sanford and Son incessantly, and a lot of people didn't know that Paul Mooney wrote for Sanford and Son, which I loved him as well, and he wrote for Richard Pryor.
Okay.
And I would watch all the sitcoms and look at the cues and the attitudes, the what's happening, the good times, the Jeffersons, and all that it just did something to me. And I was always the class clown, so the humor was always in me.
Yeah, let's transition to that, your childhood. Because sometimes we think the class clown is going to be the comic, but maybe the class clown just got some issues and they want some attention, but they don't necessarily want to get up on stage and, share the highs, the lows, and the woes. So were either of you a class clown?
I was voted.
You were voted class clown?
In the yearbook for my class.
I don't
definitely
think I was.
voted
I don't
the
remember
class
you being
clown,
class clown.
And the party animal.
Okay. And the party animal.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
But I was always, when I grew up, I'm north of 50. I was born at a time where children were supposed to be seen and not heard.
Yes.
And I was that one child out of the siblings, there's 4 of us, that always pressed the envelope and I was going to be seen and heard. And I would do things that none of the other children could get away with because I had so I could play bid whist by the time I was 8. I was playing spades when I was 6 or 7.
With a sharp, quick one.
And so I was always in the mix. I was the child, you told children, don't touch the stove. Don't pick up the phone because, they left us home alone. My parents gone, so there's nobody to rest now. I had a little key around my neck and you kept the key on the string down. And so I was the child. I was at home. Don't touch the stove. But when you came home, I had baked some sugar cookies. I made rice and just all kind of stuff. And it's like, didn't I tell you this? This is good. So I got away with a lot of things that my
You made it all right. You made it all right.
Mm-hmm,
you made it all right.
But I was always in the mix of adults.
Okay, so then what was your experience?
No, I was very shy. I was very shy. I was probably very sarcastic, and I would talk to myself a lot and say a lot of stuff. And I remember somebody hearing me say what I was saying, and they snickered.
Oh.
And I was like, I got caught. And I said a couple things to my mother that, I was like, oh, she gonna get me for this one. And she snickered. So I was like, wait a minute. That
snicker. Yeah.
I could, I guess, deflect getting in trouble by being a little bit funny or sarcastic, and it would, sway the punishment. Yeah.
And so thank you for sharing, remembering, because I wonder, what parent is watching and and their child is acting up and making all the cookies and, doing all the baking after we've told you how many times to stop touching the stove. So, because I hope and pray that the parents do watch, because when you allow your child to be free in that energy, in that gift, the heights that they will. But yeah,
absolutely.
But go ahead.
Even though I was sarcastic, I was never disrespectful.
Right. Oh, I know you would be. Yeah. Not my friend.
No. And it's always been my philosophy with my son. It's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Ma'am.
Absolutely.
Please and thank you go a long way,
yes,
don't they?
Yes. So, it's important that our kids be able to express themselves, but you have to be respectful.
Yes.
You cannot like something. I told my son had to go. I made it clear to him, and I think he was about 19, and he was still staying at home with me because he would go back and forth between his dad and I.
Okay.
And at that time, I told him, you got to go to therapy because something wasn't right. I'm just beginning to go into menopause, and you going through whatever you going through. One of us ain't gonna make it. So I know what's going on with me.
Yeah.
So you need to go talk to somebody, and it's okay to have somebody to talk to.
Absolutely.
And you
Please
can talk
do.
about me.
Yes.
Get you some counseling.
Get you some
Yes.
counseling. Don't keep it inside. For
Yes,
real.
and that's really how I started doing stand-up comedy. It was therapy for me.
Okay. So don't. So this
Going
is my
you stealing the question.
You're right. Don't steal the question. So next question: do you remember the first time you made a whole room laugh?
Yes, Mark Ridley's.
Go ahead. What does that mean?
Mark Ridley's Comedy Castle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was my graduating class. And I remember I was terrified. Driving there, my heart was, that's how loud it was beating.
Yeah.
And when I got there, I'm standing behind the door. Bill Bouchard was the instructor. And he came up to me because I was just struggling with what am I gonna do? I had all these jokes. He went up there, he said, just be funny. He whispered it in my ear, and I thought I was gonna die. And my last thought was, let me die on stage. Just let me die on stage.
Not off.
But when I got out there, I blacked out. I was funny, but they taped it. And I saw it. I bought the tape, of course. I was hilarious. I did not remember anything.
Wow.
I blacked out. People were coming up to me. You were hilarious. You were so funny. I was like, what did I say? And that was my first show.
All right. Oh, your first
my
show.
first show.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about you?
And I got my start at Mark Ridley's, but the first time I made a room laugh was when I was in elementary school, because I was always pushing the envelope. And of course, the children would chuckle. And I was the kid, I probably did need and want attention. And so I would do things and you laugh, and I was going to do it even more.
Yeah.
And it just carried on throughout life. I've always been that live wire.
You are a life to a party. You are a life to a party. I got the chance to see her one-woman show. I think, what did you? You sung, you danced, you did comedy. Did you play the instrument? She was like, I am living the dash, and with all the things.
Because you came to the one this year.
Yes.
Because I switch up.
Okay.
At the More Than the Eyes Can See show, I switch up instruments. I switch up songs. So
I thought this was the first time.
Okay. This was the 5th show I've done. This was the 5th one. So this year was the first time I did the trumpet and the violin.
Okay. I know, right? It's talented.
Yeah, okay. I brought the drums back. Last year I didn't play the drums, and somebody from the audience that has been to previous show, aren't you gonna play the drums? So
Ma'am,
that's
you have
why
the right,
y'all,
yes,
I did the
okay.
drums. This year I didn't play the bass. Last year I played the bass
All
guitar.
right. Come on now, Crystal
I
P.
played the
Yes.
grand
I had no
piano.
idea.
I played the keys,
Wow.
the flute,
You're
Yes.
talented.
which is my
Yeah.
primary instrument.
So thank God we put some
Saxophone.
comedy in there.
Yes, I
Yeah.
played saxophone last year. I didn't play saxophone this year. So I'm always doing something different. I danced this year. That was the first time. Last year I DJ'd. So,
Okay. So I guess
What don't
keep,
you
I
do?
know, right? Keep it coming
Plumbing.
back for more electrical, roofing. Yes.
Wait.
All right. Comedy has historically been a male-dominated space.
Mm-hmm.
How do you navigate through that as a woman from the D?
I'm a DEI hire. Listen, no,
Ah.
it still is male dominated,
Mm-hmm.
but the one thing about me, I walk because typically when they do have a woman on the show, it's only one. And so I've always had the sense I'm going to bring the same fire that the men are bringing.
Yeah.
And the fact that I don't curse on stage really adds another element because now, wow,
How did you
she's
do
really
that?
going to
Yeah.
pack this punch without cursing. How can you do that? Like, no, that can't be done. And so, and then when I started comedy, blacks wouldn't hire me. Because I didn't curse.
Oh, wow.
So it was like I was too black to be white and too white to be black, and people didn't really know how to place me. And so I got my start at Mark Ridley's Comedy Castle November of 2004. So I'm going on
2004?
I'm going on 21 years this year.
Wow.
And
Congratulations.
thank you. And so the mainstream for those of you that don't know, are the pretty much Caucasian dominated clubs, mainstream clubs, and the urban is what they consider the black clubs. And so I worked all the mainstream clubs. So that travel that my mom took us through Michigan,
Come on.
it happened for me for comedy because I was in Standish. I've been to 137 cities just in state of Michigan.
Wow.
And so I've gone
That speaks
most
volumes.
past
Yeah.
places that blacks wouldn't go. Cadillac, Pinconning.
Yeah.
I was in the Thumb area, Bay, Grayling, West Branch, New Haven, South Haven, Granville, Grand Rapids, all these different places that a lot of blacks didn't travel to. And even when I walked into the rooms, I was the only one.
Right.
And I would break the ice sometimes and get on stage like, I know y'all looking like, did her car break down on US 131? And sometimes people were like, no, we get black people here. Yeah, when they break out of prison, because there are no people hanging around this many trees. So I would kind of break the ice. And people, I would even sing Amazing Grace with people tattooed Harley Davidson bars and everything. I would sing
And they
Amazing
loved
Grace
it.
right there.
Yeah.
And it would just
broke the barrier.
Yeah.
And amen to that. One of the things I hope to do is to not have politics and not have religion on the show.
I don't
just
do
because
politics
it
in my
breaks up.
comedy,
Neither do I.
but I do church and not religion as I'm trying to put some oil and lay you at the altar.
Push it on you.
But just, I flip the Bible.
Yes. You know what? We got to go to a break. So when we come back,
Don't y'all go nowhere.
we got stand up live for you this morning, this Thursday morning. We're going to have Crystal P perform and we're going to have Monique King perform. So come back, check us out. We'll see you in just a few minutes.
Manifest your life and fly, 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 fly. Renee Lane, Yancy Show. She's a spark, she's the light, she's the voice that feels just right.
Have you ever wanted your own TV show? Have you dreamed of showcasing your talent for the world to see? Well, now you can. Have your own TV show. You can have your own 30-minute show. Not only will you be seen in the Detroit area, but you can be viewed worldwide. For more information, call 313-868-6612. Visit our studios and receive a free TV interview to promote your business, church, or organization by appointment only. Watkins Broadcasting is going worldwide. Now you can watch Detroit's own WHPR on your TV from anywhere in the world. No matter where you are, you can stay in the know with WHPR TV and Roku. You can get your easy-to-install Roku box from wherever you shop for your entertainment gear. Once your Roku box is connected to your TV and internet, go to the channel store on the home menu of the Roku box. Enter WHPR TV in the search engine and add it to your channels. That's it. That's all you need to get the best in entertainment, news, and talk, no matter where you are. Roku brings all of your favorites to your TV. Netflix, Hulu Plus, Crackle, HBO Go, and now WHPR TV, Detroit Live.
Truth and style, heart and grace. You'll see joy in every face. Radiate, illuminate, and shine, shine. The Renee, Lynn, Yancy show.
And we are back here with the Renee, Lynn, Yancy show on WHPR TV, and we are in our last segment of the show. And we, like we said, we are here on the show, on the Renee, Lynn, Yancy show. We inspire, we educate, we motivate, but we gotta have some fun because we gotta laugh. It's so important to laugh. So now we got 2 live stand-up shows for you today. First, we're gonna have Crystal P, and then we're gonna have Miss Monique King bring her to the stage, and then we'll flip the script and we'll get a little Miss King up here. So take it away, ladies.
Coming to you live today, ladies and gentlemen, is a funny comedian. She's opened up for Steve Harvey. She's also opened up for Diana Ross. Give it up. Start clapping right now for Miss Crystal P.
Oh my goodness. Hey out there, y'all. Oh, thank you for the applause. Let everything that have fresh breath praise the Lord. I like that applause. I know y'all looking like, ooh, it's a shift in the atmosphere. Yes, it is, because I've been delivered from a lot of stuff. I'm so glad we out of COVID. I picked up some COVID weight. See, this used to be a belly chain, but it's a choker now. And I'm trying to lose some weight. Things going on in the world. The prices, y'all seen how high them eggs got. I couldn't even afford my groceries. I had to send a petition around my church to reduce tithes to 8% till I got back up on my feet. Thank you. I see your hands. Because you understand my pain. And then my husband, I love him so much, but he got a greedy spirit. And he's accustomed to eating 5 egg omelets, but you can't do it when eggs are 10.29. And now back in the day, it used to be a 5-second rule. If you drop something on the floor, you picked it up within 5 seconds. God made dirt don't hurt. But now, 30-second rule, because I can't afford them groceries. Baby, I gave my husband some boiled eggs and some yolk fell on the floor. And he stared at it. Oh no, I kicked it over there. You gonna eat that? That is 12 cents worth of eggs over there. Yes, you felt that in your shanana. And then, now, I'm on my second marriage now, so I can't be a first lady. But listen, it's hard being married because my first husband used to discriminate against me. I was a lot heavier. He would always discriminate against me. And he would tell me, like, you know, I would like a woman with junk in her trunk. I said, well, I can't help it. I'm built like a Porsche. My trunk is in the front. And people around me would discriminate. The church discriminated. I wanted to do a fashion show, wanted to do some plus-size modeling, but they sent the undernourished saint to interview me. She come out looking at me funny, so I asked, I said, is something wrong? Well, it says on your application that you wear a 5'6". I said, girl, that's 5 times 6. I wear a 30. But I take it you're not 162 pounds. I said, I take it you can't read. Ooh, girl, that ain't 162. That's 16 squared. I weigh 256. Well, these measurements, they could be right. You couldn't be a 36, 24, 36. I said, oh, yes, I am. That's my thigh, knee, and ankle. So do I get the modeling job? Well, no, we're looking for models who are a little more in shape. I said, round is a shape? But we're looking for models with an hourglass figure. I said, look, sister, I'm built like a grandfather clock, but I keep good time, okay? And there's so much going on in the world. I love going to church, but everything in church ain't always right. You know, we're not all anointed and appointed to do everything. Tell people, ladies, all y'all not all anointed and appointed to wear open-toe shoes to church. Woo! Yes, I'm telling the truth right now. I saw the TV start to shake. There was a quickening. Everybody can't wear open-toe shoes. You ever seen some woman come up in church with toenails so long she tapping Morse code in the floors and ripping up the church carpet, and the back of her heel look like salt pork? It is hard. It's hard in the world today. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Again, I love church. I just don't like everybody there, even some of the pastors. Everybody wasn't called to lead the church. Some of these shepherds out here need to be sheep. You know how it is when you run into somebody you ain't seen in a long time. First thing you ask them, what you been up to? I ran into this brother I went to high school with. First thing I asked him, what you been up to? He said, I'm a pastor. I said, of a church? He said, yeah, the Lord called me. I said, no, you text yourself. And single people, I love y'all. I know it's hard to get a good date because before I got married again, I was sitting there praying. I said, Lord, for once I just like to date a man who hasn't dated as many men as me. You know, well, I'm about to get out of here. Thank you so much, Renee, Lynn, Yancy, for having me. I'm comedian Crystal P. Look me up on my website, crystalpiscrazy.com. I love y'all. Take care.
Ooh, yay! Yes, yes, yes. That was hilarious. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, so now we're going to switch it up. And now we're going to have some Monique King energy. So bring us on in, Crystal P. Bring us on in.
All right, come on, WHPR listeners. We are here this afternoon. We got this very funny lady coming to the stage all the way from the east side. She was supposed to be on the Chris Rock show, but she said, I'm here at Renee Lynn Yancy today. Y'all give it up for the comedy stylist of the beautiful Monique King.
Woo!
Thank you, Crystal. Thank you so much.
Yes,
Thank you, Renee, for having me on this show, y'all. I don't know how I made it, because I kid you not, I have been on a diet for the last 3 years, and I ain't lost. I mean, you know, I did lose some weight, but I didn't lose enough to, like, really do a whole lot of damage to my ego. This dress that I have on today, I pushed my grandmother down the stairs to take this off of her because she's in a nursing home now and she fighting with all the other folks. I said, Granny, give me my dress back. So, I don't know. It's been a while since I've done stand-up, to be honest with you. So, things I was thinking about talking about, and we are live. Lord, I hope y'all can edit this out. I came unprepared, and this is what happens, y'all, when you come unprepared. Crystal P did a phenomenal job. Comedy is not easy. It's not. You got to walk with confidence. You got to know what you're doing. You got to have you a set. I did not have a set prepared. I haven't done stand-up comedy in some years. I'm going to be honest with you. My feelings got a little bit hurt the last time I did stand-up comedy. I was helping somebody get to a comedy show. It was a blind comedian. And he hurt my feelings. He hurt my feelings because he bought me a drink because he wasn't paying for any of the gas to get to the show. And I had to, like, walk this man into my car to get to the show and from the car into the club. I mean, I'm holding on to this man's hand when he come out the bathroom. And he asked me if I was going to get something to drink. And I said, well, I don't really have any money to get anything to drink. He said, well, I'll buy you a beer. So instead of buying a beer, he bought a beer and a Long Island. So I thought he was treating me. So I drank the Long Island. But when he came back, he was looking for his Long Island. And he said, look at him. He was lying for his Long Island. Anyway, that's my time, y'all. Thank you so much for having me up here. And I haven't done stand-up in a while. Crystal P, you did an amazing job. You cannot darken a glow like Crystal P. She's been doing this 21 years.
Yep.
Yes.
It'll be next month.
And it means you have to stay in it. You got to keep going, right?
It's not
easy. Yes. So thank you, Renee.
You are very welcome. Oh my goodness, you two are hilarious. Thank you, Crystal P.
Thank
you, Miss Monique King. Hilarious. Thank you. Because I like I said, if I can't get my jazz music and my comedy on, then I don't know what I'm doing in a day. And I literally will take that time just to go watch something funny, to laugh. Because the days of overworking and being stressed out and when the chest tightens up and you're all, you know, just
Tense.
overworked because you just got so much going on, even though you, Miss Lady, got so much going on.
Yes.
My goodness, with
Talent.
all
I'm
of
gonna have to come
with
back here
all
and put a
of it.
flower in my hair and give me a glass of water and
Thank
sing
you.
some jazz.
Thank
Just
you.
standing there.
Oh,
Like one
you
of the
probably
instruments.
could too. You
I love
probably
jazz
could.
music. That's my next dream thing to do is a jazz album. That's what I want to
Okay,
do is
we'll
a
put
jazz
that out
album.
in the universe.
I
Let's get
love
it.
Phyllis Hyman,
Wow.
and I've always wanted to channel her in some type of way
Okay.
musically.
All right, I'm looking forward to that. At the next, what is it called?
More than the eyes can see.
More than the eyes can see. All right, well, let's see, we got a little bit more time. I'll get to my questions. Here's a good one. What types of challenges or stereotypes have you faced being a female comic?
Well, my challenge has been really lately having brain fog. Yeah. Brain fog.
Yes.
I can kind of remember when it first started, you know, and it's just like it does kind of, it hinders me if I'm not practicing.
Right. No, it's real. We're at a certain age and stage in this game. I was recently at a pitch contest. Shouts out to the Michigan Women's Business Conference.
Great Lakes Women's Business
I'm sorry,
Council.
Great Lakes Women's Business
Yes.
Conference. Shout out to them. Had a wonderful time there last week. But during the pitching, there was a couple of more mature women, and they just stopped. And you're looking at them like, what is going on? And so I happened to talk to their coach, and they said, oh, that's brain fog. That's brain fog. And so, yeah, that's got to be challenging.
Yeah.
You're up on stage, and you got
And
nothing comes
you
out.
have to, when I say I have been kind of like off the grid with comedy for a little while, when you're doing comedy, you're not spending as much time with your family, with your friends.
It's a job.
It's a job.
job.
It's a hustle.
Yeah.
And it's a hard hustle because sometimes you get tired of hearing yourself do the same old jokes. So you want new jokes. Then you got to remember the new jokes. You know, it's a matter of practicing it and coming up with new material and just practicing it.
So thank you for pointing that
Yeah.
out. Because anything we want to do, right, it's going to take hard work. And sometimes I feel like you all, or comics, aren't always appreciated for the sacrifice, be it the life that you had to live.
And sometimes
have
you
the
bomb on
experience.
stage.
Yeah.
So I bombed. I just bombed, and I'm okay with it.
You did not, Bob.
I did. No, I know me, and I know what I'm used to.
Yeah.
And
That was
comedians are hard on themselves.
harder.
Because I've done things and I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
And people say, oh, I enjoyed you so much. And I'm like,
Like-
well, we're watching the show.
Right. But that bombing is what makes me get back up and keep doing it because I don't like to bomb.
Well, amen then.
Yeah.
Amen then.
And it's a work in progress.
Yes.
It's always a work in progress. You don't know how you're going to do until you actually get out there because your emotions come into play.
Right.
What went on with your day. I don't even
Yes.
take phone calls. When I'm doing a show, I don't take phone calls from anybody. If it's an emergency, it'll happen. Yeah, it'll happen after I'm off the stage.
And actually, I was a few minutes late getting here. I was like, okay, guests, get here at, what time to get here, and I'll see you then. And I did exactly that this morning. I took a phone call.
Yeah.
I took some emails, and I thought I could multitask.
Yeah,
on my,
and it
on
takes
my
you
day.
off your square.
And it took me off my square, and I said, you know what? We're not doing that ever again. So absolutely. How about you?
With me,
Miss Christopher?
a lot of people don't know I was diagnosed with lupus in 2015, and I don't like to liken it like cancer, but there's different types of cancer. So somebody may have breast cancer.
Sure.
Somebody
Oh,
have
yeah.
And so lupus operates the same, and it affects my brain. So sometimes if I'm not rested enough, I'll sometimes slur, or I know what I want to say, but I can't get the words out. And then sometimes my body just walking. I'll start swishing my feet. I can't lift them up. My brain is not. So I'll have those challenges sometimes, but repetition. And even with doing comedy, there are still so many people that have never seen me do stand-up. There are so many places I have not been. So even those old jokes, which are old to me,
Mhm.
they're new to them.
Right.
So sometimes you still have to reach back, and then new jokes will eventually become old jokes once you keep doing them. So I try to mix the two there.
Yes.
But as a female comedian, one of the stereotypes is often doing female type of comedy, or what people consider female comedy.
What's
So
that?
you're going to talk
Yeah.
about menopause. You're going to talk
Mm.
about that time of the month, things that are typically
For the ladies.
for women
Yes.
only. And I don't do that because I watch football. So I'm going to talk about sports. I have children. I'll talk about home, relationships, divorce, just everything.
Yeah.
Church, school, life in general. So there's some things I've done as I get older. So I talk about colonoscopies, but even that is not just likened to women only, and mammograms and things of that nature. But I just talk about life in general.
I heard earlier today that Beyonce's father had breast cancer,
Mm-hmm.
and he's out talking about it.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
kudos to him.
It's a lot of
Yeah.
men that people don't realize that have it. I'm really cool with Vicky Winans, her brother. He's
Mhm.
my sound engineer. He had it.
Breast cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So there are a
Breast
lot of
cancer
men
awareness is coming up.
that
Yeah.
that
I hope they
a lot of
speak
men
up.
suffer
Yeah.
from it.
And they don't speak on it. So
He
people-
does. Now he actually
But-
does.
Good.
Yeah.
But people are now hearing about it because people are now speaking about it.
Mhm.
I told you before that I paid child support.
Mhm.
A lot of women don't pay child support.
And I know a couple that
gladly
do.
paid my child support.
Mhm.
I was
And
the
got
good
jokes
time
about it,
mom
too.
on the weekend. Yes, I
Mhm.
do. So that's the difference.
And so we just got a few minutes left, so I want to do one question,
Mhm.
and then we're going to go to where we can find you and all your projects. So, just to go to that, these are your life experiences, and you're finding that silver lining in them and sharing them with us. So, sometimes, here's the question, sometimes comedy comes from pain. Do you find laughter is healing?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I
Yes.
think that was a given.
Without
Yeah.
a shadow of a doubt. As you know, my mom passed away a few days ago, and one of the things that people immediately, are you going to cancel the show? My mama said it's okay to cry and mourn, but mourning doesn't pay bills. And she would always say, we always have to go this way. So I try to walk in her grace.
Yes.
And unless I'm dead, I'm not canceling no shows, because despite what I'm going through, people in my audience are experiencing something far worse. And so when I can make people laugh, it really uplifts me. And so I don't cancel shows. I didn't even tell people the shows that the day my mom passed, I did a show 5 hours later.
Wow.
I was on stage, and I didn't tell them that my mom had passed away because I didn't want anybody to talk me out of doing a show.
Right.
When my first husband passed, I did a show. I was at work 2 days later. They're like, what are you doing here? And I was on stage 2 days later.
Yeah.
And
That's
so
strength.
because
Yeah.
I know it's gonna birth something, and those are
Amen.
some of the best shows I've actually had. I'm not trying to kill nobody off, but if you die, I'm gonna have a good show that day. I'm gonna have a great show.
I love it.
because people dying to hear me.
Yes.
So I'm gonna have a great show. So yeah, I go out there because that is my ministry. That's my purpose
Ma'am,
on this
yes.
earth. If I can't do nothing
Yes.
else, I'm gonna make you laugh.
And so so when you told me, I thought the same thing. Oh my goodness! But I noticed how poised you were and how together, and I thought, oh, thank God this woman is mature. Yes, I know it
Strong.
hurts,
And it
it's
does, because
strength,
when I
yeah.
got off that stage, girl, I broke down like a jalopy. I was out there like a 81 Chevy Chevette. But prior to, I'm going
Yeah, you're
to
gonna do
put
it.
all and leave it on the stage.
So we're gonna be let's wrap up, and
Mhm.
so do either one of you tell us what projects you have going on, things you're anticipating for the future, and then we'll hear about how to follow you.
Well, my website is crystalpiscrazy.com, crystalpiscrazy.com. And you go to my page, sign up for the newsletter. You can find out about all the shows that are upcoming. I send out, I don't spam you. You just get an email here and there on the upcoming shows. You can also connect to all my social media pages by scrolling to the bottom of my homepage. I'm looking to finish my cookbook. I've been trying to work on that. So even baking as a child, I still bake. I do weddings. I do all occasion cakes. So all those things have stuck around with me. Right now, I have a lot of private shows, but I do have a few public shows coming up in the works. I'm doing a gospel concert with Tasha Page Lockhart and the reunion of Pam and Dodie.
Okay.
And then I have another gospel concert with Smith Chapel AME in Inkster. So yeah, go to my website, sign up for the newsletter, and get the latest information on crystalpiscrazy.com.
Okay, and any social handles you like
Crystal
to...
P is Crazy on Instagram, Crystal P is Crazy on TikTok, Crystal P is Crazy on X, which is formerly Twitter, and then on Facebook, comedian Crystal P.
Woo!
I know.
Right.
That was like a
She
book.
ready. She ready. She ready. Right.
J. Anthony Brown always told me you ain't got to get ready when you're already
When
ready.
you already
Ma'am,
ready.
ma'am.
She ready.
She ready.
She ready.
She ready.
I'm just Monique King on Facebook and Mo Laughs, MOLAUGHS on Instagram.
Come on, give us some more.
Well, you know what?
So, yes, let's talk about...
I'm considering going back into doing my bus tour.
Okay.
My stand-up show that I did on the bus, Mo Laughs in the City Comedy Bus Tour. I've had a lot of comedians ask me, why did I get out of it?
Yeah.
I need a bus. So I'm retiring soon from my job.
Okay.
So I can't give a date
That's okay.
as yet.
We got to put it out there.
But I think
that's part of the inspiration.
I really enjoy giving those tours.
Yes.
I think the city of Detroit, but I think I would love to go outside of the city of Detroit, expand to see who wants to have comedy come to you and take you on a tour.
Yeah, you can hire us.
That's
Absolutely.
right. That's
Book
right.
us.
So,
Absolutely.
and that's a perfect segue because next week we have Asha from Slip Trip. She just won the $50,000 pitch contest with Black Tech Saturday.
Wow.
And I am going to make sure that she and you
I need
meet
a new
each other
friend so I can
because
borrow
she
$49.99.
has buses.
Oh, wow.
buses, all the buses.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
So, absolutely. So, we will see you next week. Tune in with us at the Renee Lynn Yancy Show. We'll be right here and looking forward to sharing the inspiration, education, motivation with some jokes. Take care.
New day, new talk, new perspective, real and raw. Connect the heart, inspire the mind, bringing stories that redefine. Lift your light and let it glow. You're watching what you need to know. Radiate, illuminate, and shine, shine. The Renee Lynn Yancy Show. Rise and be